When people think of New York, they picture glittering skyscrapers, the buzz of Midtown, overpriced lattes, and the endless hum of city life. But what if I told you the Empire State has some places so offbeat, so run down, so stress-inducing, you'll wonder if you accidentally crossed into an alternate universe? Welcome to the 10 towns in New York you should absolutely never move to. Seriously, if your navigation app tries to take you through any of these, do yourself a favor, ignore the detour. We're about to spotlight towns so notorious, moving here would feel less like chasing a dream and more like volunteering for a reality show called, How Much Can You Take? From battered local economies to crime rates that'll make you double lock your doors, these places are the cautionary tales left out of the tourist brochures. Before you pack up for a fresh start in New York, or jot down your next road trip, let me show you the places you'll want to avoid like a group text with your ex-spoiler. Realtors won't mention any of this. Stick around for this top 10 countdown. By the end, you'll either be grateful you dodged a bullet, or frantically rereading your lease. Smash that like button, drop your own stories in the comments, and subscribe to Realist Reality for more travel truths you won't hear from the welcome wagon. Number 10, Elmira. You know those towns where the air feels heavy with what could have been? Welcome to Elmira. On the map, it's a peaceful city in Chemung County. In reality, it's as if the local economy went on a coffee break in 1990 and never clocked back in. Elmira's crime rate hovers at 41 per 1,000 people, which means you've got about a 1 in 24 shot at being part of the next incident, according to city data. That's not exactly a warm welcome from the so-called Queen City. Financially, Elmira's not offering much either. The median household income is just $42,150, and a daunting 26% of households struggle below the poverty line. That's not a dip. It's a nosedive. Jobs exist, but they're often low-wage, high-stress, and light on benefits. Healthcare? Let's just say, don't get sick. Upward mobility? You'd be better off climbing a greased pole. Take a stroll downtown and you'll find shuttered businesses, weary infrastructure, and a general sense of meh. Buying a house for $70,000 here might sound tempting, but remember, it's only cheap because nobody else wants it. Elmira used to be an industrial powerhouse, but once the factories shuttered, nothing substantial moved in to fill the gap. So ask yourself, is a low mortgage worth trading away safety and opportunity? If not, keep watching, because this is just the beginning. Number 9, Amsterdam. Amsterdam, New York, known as the Carpet City, now feels more worn out than a welcome mat. Once a thriving manufacturing hub, now it's a shell of its former self, with more boarded-up windows than open shops. Crime? It's at 37.9 per 1,000 people, about a 1 in 26 chance of being a victim. The median household income sits around $44,900, but with 22% of the population living below the poverty line, it's less American dream and more budget nightmare. Rents are cheap, but so are the prospects. Sure, Amsterdam's got some historic charm, and the Mohawk River is scenic, but nostalgia won't pay the bills or patch the potholes. Downtown tries for a comeback with new restaurants and bars, but step outside the main drag and you'll see crumbling homes, neglected streets, and a vibe that says, don't linger. Housing is cheap, but you'll be sharing walls with mold and maybe a family of squirrels. Amsterdam keeps promising a renaissance, but until those promises turn into real jobs and safer streets, it's all just window dressing. Number 8, Lockport. With a name like Lockport, you might think safety comes standard. Think again. Lockport's crime rate is 36.7 per 1,000 residents, a 1 in 27 chance of an unwelcome surprise. Once, this was a canal town that powered New York's growth. Now, it's more like a museum of faded hopes. Median household income? $49,800. Poverty rate? 21%. That's 1 out of every 5 neighbors struggling to get by. The local economy is mostly service jobs and retail, so unless you're commuting out, options are slim. Sure, Lockport has some neat old architecture and a few lively blocks, but just one wrong turn and you'll find yourself among abandoned properties and "for sale" signs that haven't budged in years. The city tries to revamp with festivals and tax breaks, but it's like putting a fresh coat of paint on a sinking ship. Would you move to a place where you feel the need to lock up before you even park? Lockport is a cautionary tale, a place where hope is still on layaway. Number 7. Gloversville. Gloversville, once the heart of the glove-making world, now feels like it's lost its grip. The crime rate is 35 per 1,000, so your odds of being a victim are about 1 in 29. The city has a reputation for tough times, with a median income of $43,700 and a poverty rate of 28%. That's nearly a third of the city scraping by. Affordable homes? Yes, but mainly because no one else is interested. The city has a proud immigrant history, but these days, diversity doesn't pay the rent and the only thing lively after dark is the police scanner. The downtown area tries hard to bounce back with new shops and art spaces, but most of the city is stuck in a holding pattern, waiting for a comeback that never comes. If you're handy, you'll need your skills. These houses come with leaky roofs, ancient wiring, and basements that double as indoor pools every spring. Gloversville is a place people pass through, not settle down in. Number 6. Oneonta. Oneonta's claim to fame? 2 colleges, SUNY Oneonta and Hartwick. But step off campus, and the town feels more like one and done. Crime rate? 34.8 per 1,000, meaning a 1 in 29 shot at trouble. Median income is $38,900, and 30% of residents live below the poverty line, numbers that should make you think twice. Sure, students keep a few bars and cafes busy, but for year-round residents, it's a grind. Infrastructure is aging, and the job scene is bleak unless you're in education or healthcare. Housing is cheap, but you get what you pay for: drafty old Victorians, unreliable heat, and landlords who treat repairs like urban legends. Downtown is trying to reinvent itself, but it's mostly lipstick on a pig. Would you move somewhere knowing you'll save on rent but pay in stress? Oneonta's cheap, but there's a reason. Number 5. Watertown. Watertown, just a stone's throw from Canada, is more famous for its brutal winters than its opportunities. Crime rate? 38 per 1,000, which is a 1 in 26 chance of something going wrong. Median income is just $43,250, and 25% of the population lives in poverty. Sure, Fort Drum nearby brings some jobs, but if you're not military, options are limited. The city's economy is stuck in neutral, and winters here aren't just cold, they're relentless. Over 100 inches of snow a year means you'll be shoveling more than just your walkway, you'll be digging out your car, your mailbox, and maybe your sanity. Affordable homes are everywhere, but they come with high heating bills and endless repairs. Downtown tries to look lively, but most shops are just hanging on. Watertown is proof that a low cost of living doesn't always mean high quality of life. Number 4. Olean. Olean, tucked in the southern tier, is a town where optimism feels like an endangered species. Crime rate is 36.2 per 1,000, giving you a 1 in 28 chance of being part of the statistics. Median income is $41,800, while 27% of residents are below the poverty line. The city has tried to revive itself, but with underfunded schools, struggling businesses, and an economy stuck in a rut, it's no wonder people are packing up. Infrastructure is worn, and the only thing growing faster than the weeds are the "for rent" signs. You can buy a house for a song, but you'll be paying in sweat equity and patience. Olean is the kind of place where dreams come to retire. Number 3. Utica. Utica is often pitched as an upstate gem, but scratch the surface and you'll see the cracks. Crime rate? 42.9 per 1,000, odds of 1 in 23. Median income is $39,720, with 29% living in poverty. Sure, there's a vibrant food scene and a strong refugee community, but those bright spots can't fix the city's deep-rooted problems. Infrastructure is outdated, schools are underfunded, and jobs are still hard to come by unless you're willing to commute. Houses are cheap, but so are the prospects for a better life. Utica is a place where hope is always just out of reach. Number 2, Troy. Troy, the collar city, wants to be the next big thing, but it's still stuck in the past. Crime rate is 40.7 per 1,000, 1 in 25 odds. Median income is $46,800, with a poverty rate of 23%. Downtown is cute, sure, but step outside the historic core and it's a different story: neglected streets, vacant buildings, and a sense that the last train out already left. The city loves to talk about its potential, but after years of trying, it's still more promise than progress. Housing is cheap, but you'll need a toolkit and nerves of steel. Troy's been up and coming for years. How long are you willing to wait? Number 1, Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon, just outside New York City, tops the list for all the wrong reasons. Crime rate? 43.2 per 1,000, making your odds 1 in 23. Median income is $49,900, but 25% of residents live below the poverty line. City services are stretched thin, schools are underfunded, and infrastructure is crumbling. On paper, it looks like an affordable alternative to the city, until you see the neglected neighborhoods, sky-high taxes, and daily grind for survival. Mount Vernon tries to sell itself with proximity to Manhattan, but that's about all it has going for it. The reality is a town struggling to escape decades of decline. There you have it, 10 towns in New York you should never put on your move to list. From relentless winters to stagnant economies, these places prove that cheap doesn't always mean worth it. Have you lived in one of these towns? Did you dodge a bullet or make it work against the odds? Let me know in the comments. If this opened your eyes, hit like and subscribe for more brutally honest travel guides from realist reality. Remember, sometimes the best move is to keep on driving.